Today, I want to talk about something that happens during every major sporting event, something that has very little to do with sports themselves. Have you ever noticed how complete strangers can suddenly feel connected? People who have never met before smile at each other. They celebrate together, they sing together, sometimes they even cry together. For a brief moment, it feels as if all the invisible walls between people disappear. And I think that is fascinating because when we look more closely, sports are not only about competition, they are also about human connection. During events like the World Cup, millions of people around the world are watching the same game. They are experiencing the same uncertainty, the same anticipation, the same hope, the same disappointment. And somehow, sharing an emotional experience creates a sense of belonging, even among strangers. Why does this happen? I think part of the answer lies in a very basic human need, the need to belong. Human beings are social creatures. For most of our history, survival depended on being part of a group. Being connected to others was not simply nice to have, it was necessary. Perhaps that is why we are still drawn to experiences that make us feel part of something larger than ourselves. Sports happen to be one of those experiences, but it is not the only one. You can see it at concerts, community gatherings, religious ceremonies, charity events, and even online communities. Whenever people come together around a shared experience, a sense of connection often emerges. What is interesting is that the connection does not require agreement on everything. People may come from different backgrounds, different cultures, different religions, different political views, different life stories. Yet, for 90 minutes, they are focused on the same game, the same goal, the same possibility. And that shared focus creates a temporary bridge between people. I think there is something beautiful about that because modern life can sometimes feel very isolating. Many people are surrounded by others and yet still feel alone. Many people communicate constantly and yet struggle to feel genuinely connected. In a world like that, moments of shared emotion become surprisingly valuable. When thousands of people celebrate together after a goal, what they are really sharing is not only excitement, they are sharing humanity. The goal is simply the trigger. The deeper experience is connection. There is another reason I think sports unite people. Sports create stories. Human beings love stories. We always have. Stories help us make sense of uncertainty. They help us understand challenges, setbacks, and triumphs. Every tournament contains countless stories. The underdog, the comeback, the unexpected hero, the veteran playing one final time, the team that refuses to give up. And when people follow those stories, they become emotionally invested. They begin to care. Not because they know the players personally, but because they recognize something familiar in the struggle. We all know what it feels like to hope. We all know what it feels like to fail. We all know what it feels like to keep going despite uncertainty. In many ways, sports simply make these experiences visible. That is why people become emotional. They are not only reacting to a game, they are responding to something deeply human. Sometimes people criticize sports and say, it's just a game. And in one sense, that is true, but perhaps what people are really responding to is not the game itself. Perhaps they are responding to what the game represents: hope, courage, persistence, teamwork, belonging, connection. These are things that matter far beyond sports. And maybe that is why sporting events continue to bring people together generation after generation, not because everyone loves the sport, but because everyone understands the emotions. At the end of the day, the score will eventually be forgotten, the tournament will end, a new season will begin, life will move on. But the feeling of connection often remains, the memory of celebrating with others, the feeling of being part of something bigger than yourself, the reminder that despite all our differences, human beings share many of the same hopes, fears, and dreams. And perhaps that is what sports reveal most clearly. Not who wins, not who loses, but how deeply connected we really are. And if you'd like to join us for more conversations about human nature, personal growth, and the experiences that shape our lives, please consider subscribing to the Flourish Spirit. Thank you for being here. And until next time, take good care of yourself.